GAPS, Good Agricultural Practices for Enhancing Food Safety on Your Farm Produce. Federal initiatives, including the U.S. Dietary Guidelines and the Food Guide Pyramid, have highlighted the nutritional importance of eating fruits and vegetables. As a result, between 1970 and 1997, the U.S. per capita consumption of fruits and vegetables increased 24%, from 577 to 718 pounds annually, a difference of 141 pounds of produce per person. As produce consumption has increased, scientists at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Georgia, noticed another important trend. From 1973 to 2008, there has been a significant increase in the number of foodborne illness outbreaks associated with fresh produce. According to the FDA, in the 11 years from 1996 to 2007, there were 72 reported outbreaks of foodborne illness associated with 20 fresh produce commodities. Lettuce and salad mix are associated with the highest percentage of outbreaks. Bean sprouts, green onions, tomatoes, spinach, cantaloupe, carrots, raspberries, strawberries, and herbs have also been implicated. In 2011, listeria-contaminated cantaloupe caused 30 deaths and 146 illnesses in one of the worst U.S. foodborne illness outbreaks since the CDC began tracking in 1970. CDC data shows that the majority of illness outbreaks have resulted from domestically grown produce, 75.3%. Only 7.5% of outbreaks have been traced back to imported produce, but the growth of nationwide and international food distribution chains means that when outbreaks occur, they tend to be larger and more geographically diverse. In 2011, the CDC put out new estimates that roughly 1 in 6 Americans, or 48 million people, get sick, 128,000 are hospitalized, and 3,000 people die each year from foodborne illnesses. Economic losses for growers are difficult to pinpoint, but have been estimated between $10 to $83 billion annually. For example, the strawberry industry lost an estimated $50 million when mistakenly indicated in a 1996 outbreak. So why is there an increase in foodborne illness now related to fresh produce? First, those at highest risk of foodborne illnesses include young children, the elderly, pregnant women, and those with chronic diseases or compromised immune systems, all of which are increasing segments of the U.S. population. Secondly, over the last 20 to 30 years, scientists have observed many genetic changes that have increased microorganisms' ability to survive, like this cluster of E. coli bacteria. And finally, complex food systems increase consumers' exposure to different types of microorganisms, and the increased number of meals eaten outside of the home puts consumers at risk through poor food handling or preparation practices. Preventing food contamination by microorganisms that cause foodborne illness, chemicals, and physical debris such as dirt or glass is the purpose of GAPS, which is an acronym for Good Agricultural Practices. GAPS, or Development of a Farm Food Safety Plan, is not currently mandated by law. However, some growers are finding grocery store buyers now require vendor farms to complete a food safety audit. When the FDA's Food Safety Modernization Act is complete, additional grower regulations may become mandatory, so food safety issues are not going away. Important steps in developing a GAPS program for your farm include understanding the microorganisms involved in foodborne illness, understanding risks on your farm, creating a worker health and hygiene training program, water testing, and developing a common sense record-keeping system. In the next segments, we'll look at each topic in more detail.